I'm good. Good to see you.
Sorry about the technical issues. I think I've been running around the house trying to get lighting.
It's okay. We're all chasing the light on some level, but it's good to
Yeah, we
to
are. Well,
see
I'm definitely
you.
chasing the light.
It's good to see you. I know. Yeah, we're trying to. Yeah, there's nothing like tech issues to get the show started. But how are you going anyway, despite that?
Oh, no, I'm going really well. I've had a little bit of time off because, as you know, my dear mum passed away not long ago. So I've just been getting things in order, uh, getting over my grief. Or you'll never get over grief.
You know, I was about to
But
say, yeah,
yeah, and it's just getting slowly back into things again. And
yeah,
I've been
definitely.
sharing everywhere, getting all my friends and my clients to come over and look at the show tonight and find
Yeah,
out
so
more
hopefully,
about me on the personal level. Yeah.
yes. I'm like, where are they? They're not haven't jumped on yet, so hopefully they remember to jump on. Kat's there, first time. Good to see you, Donna. Good to see you as well, Nikki. I think I've said hello to you, but hello again. We'll kick things off because I can see the
Mhm.
numbers starting to rise now. So let's start. Let's start with the basics. What type of psychic are you, and how do you work?
Okay. I'm a clairvoyant, psychic, and a medium. So I see the future. So when I look at people and I concentrate, I already have a feeling about which path they're going on. I also use tarot cards, Rider Waite tarot cards, in my readings, and Madame Lamont, the love reading cards, and angel cards. I should have brought them out. And
We're not doing any readings,
cards,
so you don't need to.
yeah, I know to show you. And the
Ah,
ones that my clients absolutely love are called the fucking awesome honesty
oh
oracle
yes,
cards.
I used to have them as well.
Oh, I love them.
They're great for honesty, definitely, and thank you for
Yeah.
swearing on live TV too. That's
Oh,
brilliant.
sorry, but that's sorry
No,
that's
I know
the name of
the
the
name
cards,
of
not
the.
me swearing.
When we go live, we'll edit later. Don't worry.
Okay, sorry.
So let's start from the beginning with you. When did you first discover that you had the gift?
Okay, I was born with it, so I'm natural. I was born with it. I wasn't taught. Um, what happened was
So even though
when I
you were
was
born with it, when did you actually realize what you
well, my
had
my
was?
mum picked it up actually because I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I was saying things just out of the blue, and then things would actually happen. And then back in the old days, because I'm born Catholic, it's like, oh my God, it's like taboo, but it's not anymore. And my great grandmother Sarah had the gift. And it was just things that we would say. And the next minute or the next month or something, that would happen. So I was very young. And then when the gift was getting stronger to me, my mum actually took me to the priest because she thought there was something wrong with me. I was possessed or something. But the priest, Father Borg, was beautiful and he's remained my friend for over 56 years. And he says that
Oh
people are
wow!
born with the gifts like a prophet. And that's how I got into it. And then I started, when I was 18, I had my first reading with a psychic called Tamara Antonia Wright. I was 18, I remember, and she said, and I was studying to be an accountant. And she said, you've got the gift. She did my numerology and everything. I'm a 33, I'm a psychic number. And she said, and one day you will be having your own business doing what I do. And I'm like, what? No. And here I am to this day.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there. I love the fact that your mum took you to a priest
Yeah.
to try and save you or help you,
Yeah, to
and the
save me.
priest to save you, and the exact priest has gone, no, let's support this, and is your friend to this day. I love that.
Yeah. My priest said there are people, if you use it for good, of course, which is what I do,
Of course.
there are people in the Bible, you have prophets, yeah? People that see things, that know things. And that's how he related me to it. And we
It's
became very close. And
I
as you
love it
know, I
actually
did have a
just
daughter.
right, yeah, keep going.
I had a daughter, and my priest actually used to babysit her. And Sarah, was who I named my daughter after my great grandmother that had the gift, was born exactly on the third month at exactly 3:33.
Wow.
So yeah. So and
Um,
I am a 33 as well in my numerology.
right. You did sort of make a reference there to say you had a daughter. That's the language you used.
My daughter passed away at 6 months old in a house fire, and after that, I was like very angry with God, angry with the universe. And I'm thinking, why? It took me
Of
so long
course.
to get to have a, took me 11 years to have a child. I already have a son, and it was 11 years later. And I was so excited with my daughter. And unfortunately, she was taken away at
And how
11.
did you, and look, like, I feel free if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to, but
Yeah, no, no, it's
how,
fine. I'm fine with it now.
right.
And
And
she
that's going to
was
be my, that
taken.
was, yeah.
Yeah, she was taken away at. Now she was born at 3:33. She passed away on the 4th of October at 11:33. That's the official time that they've taken.
Wow. Now, just we'll go back to others because there's a lot to unpack there. But I just want to sort of, because I know a lot of people have gone through something similar, may not be in exact way, but in regards to loss. Now you
Yeah.
mentioned about the anger, why you question everything. How do you go from that to where you are now? What processes and what did you do to start believing again?
Okay. Like I said, I was very, very angry. I didn't know why God or the universe had done this to me. Um, and it took me a few years. And then what happened was Red Nose came, and the grief counselor was talking to me. And then I heard, like, sitting and talking to the counselor, I was listening to all the other people as well that had lost children, either by miscarriage, tragic circumstances like me, cot death. And then I thought, geez, it's not just me. It must be something strong, something that strength that came in us. Um, and then what happened was, I thought, and I am a strong person, um, and I'm just built that way. I've got that. I've got that control. And I thought I could either sink or swim. Now, not only did I lost my daughter, I also completely lost my home. I couldn't get the insurance money because HOH and that went under back at that time. So I walked out with the clothes on my back, and I'm thinking, why me? And I'm thinking, all right, I've got to sink or swim. Do I wallow in misery, or do I, when I was coming across all these others that had lost children, um, I just decided I'm going to help. I'll go through my grief with them. And my counselor, Kevin, at the time from Sids and Kids, he was wonderful. And he just listened, didn't talk. He listened to me, got out all my anger, all my frustration. Then, of course, I went on a holiday because to me, going over water, dipping my feet in, I always tell my clients, dip your feet in the ocean. It's a cleansing process. And I just wanted to cleanse myself. And then what happened? I put away, what made me believe was my tarot cards, and I've had them for over 30, some of them are 45 years old when I was 15. Um, they didn't burn in the fire. And I'm like, what is going on here? And then I thought,
Wow.
am I supposed to use them? Should I go back to them?
So had you stopped
And
at this point?
yeah, I had. I stopped and I thought, because I was so angry, and I'm thinking, why? Why was my daughter taken? I lost a bit of my spirituality. And then I said, no. When I got this bag of my cards, I'm thinking, how did they, everything else burnt? Why are the tarot cards here? Am I supposed to be here for a purpose? Was my daughter born at 3:33 for a reason?
And
Am
then
I
died at
33 for a
33.
reason?
Yeah.
And then it also,
How did the fire start? How did you get out and not like
um,
how did this happen?
well, at the time I was working online as a psychic online, and I was in another room, and it was I smelt something. My daughter was in her bedroom sleeping, and I could smell something. And not even 2 weeks before she'd passed, I put in all these fantastic fang-dangled smoke alarms, which directly, because I lived on a beautiful 2-acre home in a suburb called Kurrajong near Melton. And I just put in all these alarm systems. So because I was living on my own, um, and it was a big house on this acreage, I thought to be safe in case anything happened, and this is my, I don't know, this is my mind that was working, my gut feeling, and I put in these things, directly went straight to the fire brigade, straight to the police. So as soon as alarm bells off, it went straight there. And 2 weeks just before the fire had happened, my sister was having her 40th birthday, and I said to my sister, um, and I said, I don't know, I've got this feeling. There's a baby passing. I don't know. I've got this feeling.
Oh wow, you predicted it.
Yeah, and then there was a movie with Steven Seagal on that night called Fire Down Below, and I'm
Oh
like,
no.
yeah, and I'm like, all these signs were coming to me.
Signs, yeah. So what happened?
And like I said, I was doing a reading, and I went and I opened the door. And as soon as it's like a backdraft. As soon as you open the door, the flames hit me. And Sarah's father at the time came to visit that weekend, came to visit her. And I opened it and I ran through, I don't know, all this smoke because all the power had gone out. And I ran to Matt and I said, you got to come, you got to come, there's a fire. And he broke he broke down the bedroom window and he got in, but I jumped in first and I tried to get up, couldn't. And all I remember was he took me out the window, threw me out. And yeah, he unfortunately got very burnt. And him and the neighbor came and he was flown over the glass window, and he was and because of the alarms in my house, it automatically got the CFA and the police,
Yeah.
and within minutes they were there. And I did, if they weren't, I would have perished as well. And on that night, my son, who also lives in that room, with my daughter, of course, he stayed at my mum's place, my mum and dad's place that very night, or I would have lost both children.
Wow, I am so sorry that has happened to you. I know you've probably heard this a lot, and thank
Yes.
you so much for sharing because I know that's not easy for a lot of people. But I know, as you would know too, a lot of people aren't alone in similar situations in regards to loss. So, thank you for sharing that story. That really does mean a lot. And I know I mean, ironically enough, you're grieving again at the moment. But you've obviously gone through the processes and stuff. What lessons do you think it taught you, or why do you do you question that, or do you still
No,
wonder?
no, it taught me big lessons. It taught me to appreciate everything in the now, because I used to take everything for granted. Like, even though I was doing my phone readings, and that was when I was on maternity leave, I was a bank manager, um, living life to the full. I was so excited about having my daughter. Um, Everything was going perfect. And then what happened? It brought me down to reality, um, and it made me humble, very, very humble, not to take life for granted. Even though, like, I come across as happy, smiley, um, you can hide how you're feeling. So then that way, when other people are down as well, you don't go down in this big sadness. You try to uplift people. And that's what I try to do in my readings. I hear a lot of sadness, a lot of heartache, a lot of happy stories too. But it's all about thanking God and the universe for what you have now, and live for now as well. And there's things that are out of our control, but we have to learn to accept. And there may be no reason for it, but what happened was, after my daughter passed, it made me stronger to go out and help people. And that's what I started to do. So I also studied to be a grief counselor. And by studying to be a grief counselor and learning all the steps of anger, stress, anxiety, depression, getting through all of those steps and those processes, it helped me. And it helped me when I talk to people who suffer loss, or a loss could also be a long-term marriage. It's like a death.
Mm.
It's a lot of stuff. An ending doesn't have to be with someone passing. It could be an end of an era of working. It could be something like that. It's a grief of different kinds, and how to get through it and how to make the best of it. So, like I said, you can sink or swim, but if you sink, you'll just go down and down, and that's not good for anybody. Or you can swim and get through it slowly and see a light at the end of the tunnel.
And that's always
And
the
that's what I
hardest,
was
isn't
doing.
it? Yeah,
Pardon?
and that's always the hardest part, isn't it? It's trying to see that light when there's so
Mm,
much darkness around, because you, as you said, you either sink or swim. So you're either going to drown in that sort of darkness and not
yeah.
sort of see the light. What general advice could you give someone who may be finding themselves drowning in that sort of darkness? How do
Well,
you come
you've
out
got
from
to,
that?
yeah. Well, first of all, you're alive. So a life is a gift. So you don't take a gift for granted. And what I think of is, my daughter's passed, and I used to be angry. Why did she pass and why did I live? That was a 6-month-old baby. I was 39 at the time when I had my daughter. And I'm like, am I here for a reason? Is there uh, is there a purpose to why I'm here and why she was taken? And then I started thinking, all right, there's a lot of people there that do need help. Can I help them? And I did. I started with volunteering, a lot of charity work with SIDS and kids, and helping and talking to other people helped me get through my grief. Like I said, you never get through grief. You never get out of losing a child. And then I was asked by a charity company that was called Bonnie Babes back then, and then they changed the name to Small Miracles, and it was helping children or parents that have lost children through grief, through any reason. And I saved, just by talking on the telephones. I volunteered my time talking on the telephone, going to see families. I went interstate to all the baby shows where you have all the baby, all the baby products and that, the
Yeah.
baby shows. And then we had a stand there that I volunteered my time, and I paid everything. And I'd had to stand there and I'd sit there and listen to other people that had lost children. And I think I was nominated for Australian of the Year for saving over 5,500 lives back then.
Wow, and that is a huge celebration. We do need to get back on track with in
Yeah,
regards to obviously your gift and everything like that.
yeah,
And you've done quite a lot too. Let's not. I mean, you are an actress.
yeah.
I know that for sure. I mean, people might have seen you. You've done commercials. You've done a whole bunch. They might have seen you on Deal or No Deal. You know, you've been
Oh, and
around.
guess what? I'm going on
What?
tipping points.
I saw that. I saw that.
And did you see the
So
angel numbers?
I did. I did. Numbers are really big for you, I've noticed.
Oh, I'm very, very big on numbers. As soon as the client comes in, I start with numerology. I
Okay.
Yeah, so I love numerology.
I do
I'm
just
very big on
just
numbers.
just pause there for a sec because I do need to do a bit of a disclaimer just based on obviously the stuff we've talked about. So if any of the discussions tonight have impacted you in any way, you can call Lifeline on 13 11 14. There is a trained counsellor on the other end who is there to help you as well. Of course, in emergency, always call 000. With your gift, how do I hide that? There we go. Let's go back to you. Let's go back to you because we like talking
Yeah.
about you. We've had a few people, and actually, Lindy say hello to Madeline, to Bree Grant. He's saying that he's followed you for many years and had no idea that you both lived in the same place.
Oh,
Um, yeah, Brad's saying that he's had no idea that you've lived in the same place. Oh, my ring light just weirdly just moved. That was
oh,
freaky. That was definitely spirit. That just moved really like it was anyway. The other show I did, something flew across the room. So anything's possible. Hi to Sarah, hi to Linda, Sally, Nicole. Good to see you all there in the thread. Kelly as well. Kat has said my life path is number 3. So for those
oh,
that are just jumping on, we're not doing psychic readings tonight. It is spiritual guided questions. So if you wanted to know a little bit more about your spiritual gift or spiritual question, so it's not personal psychic readings, that's for Saturday night. Tonight is just for any questions that you might want to ask Leon, and or any questions. It doesn't have to be spiritual related. If it's something you want to know more about her, so you can connect with her as a psychic on a deeper level, tonight's the night to ask those questions. Um, Definitely. I think there was more. Kat made a comment of saying, I believe most people are born with the gifts. It's how you develop them.
that's right.
And that's kind of
Because
going to
we've
be
all
what
got our gut feeling, remember?
we do. We do. Now, how did you kind of touch on it, but how did you develop yours? So I know you said you had some help, but who was your support? Who was your training? How did you
My
develop?
Okay. When I was 16, I was given a packet of tarot cards, and I was playing around with it. And then, like, friends back then would ask me questions, and I started playing around with the cards, and I started answering the questions just for fun. And then I started thinking, oh my God, I am good at this things were coming to my head, and I didn't even know where it was coming from. And then I had to learn to shut off. Like, I have, how I use it. Unless you ask me to do a reading or you ask me a question, I won't just go and say, oh God, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. I had to learn to shut off and let people ask me for guidance, and not just rant off,
Blurt
because
it.
that's what I
Yeah.
used to start doing.
Right.
And like, even at home one day when I was at mum's, and uh, one of her friends parked the car outside, brand new car, and I said, please go move that car. And they looked at me and I go, just go move that car. And they didn't. Half an hour later, it got smashed. And then everybody started to believe me. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not the devil. I go, I just got a gift. And then I started, like I said, with the Rider Waite. And I didn't go to any formal training. I interpreted the cards the way I felt them. And then, like I said, I was a bank manager and that, and I started doing this part time. And I'm thinking, I really this all the years of studying as an accountant, and that, this is my plan. This is what I was supposed to do. This is what I was supposed to do to help people. And then when I started reading it professionally, I just loved it. Like, this is what I was born to do. I just love it. I love meeting people. I love helping people. And if they do have a question um, that they'll ask me, I'm very direct as well. I'm called the
I've
blunt
picked up on
psychic.
that. The blood psychic. Okay.
Yeah, I'm very direct.
What's your
So
star sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, I should know that. You're Virgo like me.
Yeah, I'm a Virgo. 6th of September.
On the 14th. Yeah, we had this
Oh,
conversation in person. Do you remember
yeah.
at Crown? But I've completely forgotten.
Yeah, I'm a
Um,
Virgo. I'm very grounded.
it's funny because you've got a lot of fire in you. So I'm wondering if you've got it's another conversation, but you got that fire. I can see the Virgo, but I feel like you've got like an
Oh,
Aries or something in your
and I wish I
chart.
knew what time I was born with my numerology, but my mum couldn't remember.
And you're so good with numbers too.
Yeah,
Speaking
I
of
know.
numbers, Donna has asked, I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but Donna has said, how do you know your number? I'm guessing your psychic number, because you talked about numbers before.
Yeah, I add up the whole date of births. Like
And
six
until
on
it becomes a single number.
yeah. Or unless it's a spiritual number, like a double number like me, like 33, I'd keep it at 33.
And why is that? And why would you not go six?
Six. Because I'm born on the 6th. I'm a double double. I'm born on the 6th and I am a 6, which is also 6 and 6 is 12 is a 3. And how I look at it, I'm born on, and my numbers add up to 33, and 6 and 6 is 3, and that's how I get the 333 as well, if you work it out. And my
Right.
daughter was spiritually connected to me because she was born at 333.
And production has actually just said 11 and 33 are master numbers.
That's right. They're master. That's what I meant to
See,
say.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Oh,
And I don't even
really?
know what that I don't even know what that means.
A
So maybe
master number
it's
means you don't break it down.
ah.
Yeah. So if you're an
I'm
11,
just trying to work out in my head what mine is. But yeah.
oh, I can work it out for you a bit later. But and my house that chose me is a number 11.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
11 and 33 are master numbers. See, I did not know that, so I've just learned
And
something.
like
So
I
I'm
said,
sure
my
everyone else
daughter
has as
passed
well.
away at 11:33, and I bought this house because this house just drew me to me, drew myself to it. So see the numbers, a lot of numbers play a lot of
Yeah.
your
So I've
life
just
part.
got goose. I'm listening to you. I am so like for anyone. It's funny for anyone who's like a non-believer or a skeptic. Just listen to your story, and I think they'll become a believer.
Yeah, well, my house is number 11. I'm a 33. My daughter was born, sorry, my daughter died at 11:33 on her death certificate, and she was born at 3:33.
Oh, Jackie Crystal's in the thread. Hi, Jackie. Everyone's watching now. Everyone just jumped on.
Ah,
Jackie said she thinks I'm an 11. Well, my date of birth is 14th of the 9th, 1987. So whoever's good at maths, 14th of the 9th, 1987. Let me know in the comments. Do some homework while we keep chatting. Um, Kelly, so Stephanie Hughes has said I think 22 is a master as well, and
it
then
is.
Kelly has said 11, 22, and 33. And then, is that it, or does it go like
No, it goes to 44 as
44,
well.
55? What about
No.
55,
It stops at
66?
44. My
Why is
my
that?
son, I don't know because you can't add. It doesn't go up anymore when you add the numbers. My son is a 44.
Okay, so it goes 11, 22, 33, 44, and then it just
That's
stops.
it. Yeah,
Very decided. Okay, that's enough. It's
because
as
all
far
the
as it's going.
yeah, that's as far as it goes. 44.
For those that are wanting a psychic reading, you can go to Psychic TV Australia. We have the same psychics currently online. It's still available. Amazing Grace on 9888, Benjamin on 9166, Nathan Baker on 9810, and Sophia on, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and I do apologize, on 9136. But the fun is, I'm learning so much tonight. I'm definitely going to have you back on soon because there's so much to unpack here. Everyone's talking about numbers now.
Oh gosh, I I just love numbers because, like, you see 11:11, you see 3:33, even
Well,
in the
speaking of that,
cards.
we actually, I did see a question about that. So Madeline has asked. Speaking of numbers, I keep seeing doubles numbers every single day: 11, 11, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3,
That's
3, 5, 5, 5, and so on.
that's
What
the
is going on? What
angels.
does this mean?
That's the angels trying to give you a message.
And how do we know what that message is if we don't know if we're just seeing the numbers?
Okay, you can just look it up on the on Google, And you see
Oh, so
what
you're
11,
so
11.
you, oh, so you're saying that those numbers actually mean something.
Of course they do, yes.
So it's in. So she's saying 1111,
11,
222,
11 is
three three three, and five five
yeah,
five.
they're all angel numbers.
So
So
Google
the
what those
angels are
numbers
trying to
mean.
say something to her. The angels are guiding her.
Interesting. And each of those numbers are going to mean something different.
Yeah, they
There you
do.
go, Madeline. You've got some homework to do as well. Has anyone worked out my date of birth yet?
I've got
No, I'm just. Sarah has or Sarah has Sarah or Sarah. I think it's Sarah. I'm really bad with names, by the way. I think people know this by now, so just go with it. It's not to offend. She would like to know: would you say that people who went through tremendous trauma in life have a purpose to help others in the same journey? I think you kind of answered
yes.
that, but
Yeah, that's definitely yes. When you suffer trauma, like I have, yeah, you do tend to there's like something that just goes into you, and it, it's more of an like an empath. You try to you just want to help people when you go through trauma because you don't want other people to suffer like you did.
do you have 100%? I agree, and that's I think why we go through. And it's funny, a lot of us light workers, I say this almost weekly now, and it's so um, relatable in a sense that a lot of us light workers, especially not just light workers, but a lot of people in the industry generally have gone through something traumatic, and
Yeah,
that's what's then caused them to want to help others as a result, whether it's a loss, whether it's a um, whatever. Generally it's usually a loss. We all want to then use that to help others. I love how the stories are different but the outcomes are always the same in regards to
yeah.
helping
It,
others.
it just it just makes um you just want to like hug those people, or say it's going to be all right. You'll never forget, but you still survive. It's all about survival. And that's when I do my readings, when I do my private readings or my phone readings. um, I always I'll listen, and then I'll say, okay, spirit. I work. My mentor is Archangel Michael. He's the person I always call upon to help me through my readings. I also, of course, before I start, I cleanse myself, I white light myself, and then I try to listen to what uh, voices in my head, I suppose, but also what I see in the cards that come out. And if they match up with what I'm saying, then I'm 100% sure what I'm telling the client is what I feel. I mean, of course, everyone's got their free will, should be happening, and how they can listen to my guidance and help them through that path that they're on.
I love that. I love that. Just quickly, Jackie. So it's 1987. You wrote 1997. So my date of birth is 14th of the 9th, 1987.
I wish
But I
I
think
had
it
a pen.
still
I'd be
equals
writing
number
it
four.
down.
She said number four, but yeah, you wrote. I don't know if you meant to do 87 or if you wrote 1997 by accident. I wish I was
Well, why don't
97.
we
I
do
mean,
it together?
later.
One,
Let's
one
let's
plus
talk about
four.
you. Let's talk about you.
Okay.
I wanted to ask. Sarah has said thank you. Um, thank you so much for your explanation. I think it's also part of your own healing journey as well.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I wanted to ask, in all the people that you've helped in this path that you've gone down because of, what you've been through, is there one story that you can talk about of someone that you've helped that has stuck with you?
Um, yeah.
Just putting you on the
How can
spot there.
Yeah, it was how can I say it? It was somebody on the telephone uh going through a very, very, very bad breakup, and suicidal. And I told them, of course, to call Lifeline. Uh and then I said, the way I explained it to them, uh, she was really, really. I said, you've got one life to live, which is now. And I believe that we come back in another lifetime and you've got lessons to learn. And she was really, really in a bad way. And I was ready on the other phone to call Lifeline. Um, but she actually stopped, listened to what I'm saying, and how can I say it? She realized there was more to life because she came so close. And then out of the blue, because I thought she'd, after that, I didn't hear from her. And then out of the blue, um, she came to my door because she lived not far away, and she came for a face-to-face reading, but I couldn't remember because when I do readings, I only ask for the first name. And she came to my door to get a personal reading to me, and she came with this big bunch of flowers, um, and this beautiful box of chocolates and champagne. And she said, because of you, I'm now a mother of two and I'm happily married, and I wouldn't have had this if it wasn't for you. And she
Wow.
named her daughter after me.
Uh, if there is no one crying in tonight's show, I'd be very surprised. With the stories that you've just, with your daughter's story and
Yeah.
with that, I swear, like, I am holding back tears. Let me tell you, like, I should be an actor because I'm fighting back tears. But it's beautiful tears because, yes, they're heavy subjects. Yes, there's heaviness to it, but there's a lot of lightness and love and
Yeah.
beautiful as a result. And I think it's important that we talk about both sides
Yeah.
because where there's darkness, there is light, as you've
Yeah.
said. And I think a lot of people, and you'll probably get this a lot as a psychic and even as a human, oh, I'm having a shit day because,
Oh,
I've got a deadline to meet. Or, I didn't get that audition. My
yeah.
life sucks. So I didn't get that audition. And you forget that it's like, you know what, minute compared to what's really going on with a lot of people. And I think sometimes we just need to be not so hard on ourselves.
Yeah. So it is. It's how people live. They live in the present sometimes, and they don't think. Like I said, live in the present and enjoy life. But what you're going through is only a little speck. Like our lifetime's like that big, and the trauma is that little, like in that part of your life, and you've got all that time to go. You'll never forget, but you have to continue the best you can, no matter how. Actually, it was on just on the weekend. A friend of mine was here. Oh, he's here from England doing a show, and he's doing the George Michael show at Crown and that. And I had to pack up my mum's stuff on the weekend, and it killed me. And I'm thinking, but you know what? They may have passed on, but they've gone to a better place. And they still haven't left us, because when we do our mediumship and we're
Well, I was
talking to
about to just
spirit.
interrupt you there. I was going to ask you, and I think you're about to answer it anyway. How do you connect as a medium?
Okay, when I do my mediumship, I ask for protection, of course, and I always ask for only people from the light to come down, not from the dark, to come down. And I don't ask. I said only if you want to. So when I do my mediumship readings and somebody wants to find out about somebody, I say to the client, if they want to come, they're more than welcome. If they don't, well, we have to let them be where they are. They're probably out there playing bingo or something, and they don't want to be disturbed. That's how I say it. And 9 times out of 10, they do want to come, and they come in. And also with clients that are stuck, in that purgatory limbo, and they need to go to the other side, I try to help them see the light and go to the other side.
Right. How do you We've got a lot of people sort of just saying what I've just said. Thank you for sharing and whatnot. We're getting a lot of comments. If you can't see them, go back and do read them because there's quite a lot of support in the thread, which wouldn't surprise me. Andrew, one of our regulars, has said he has the gift to talk to his spirit children, and they already call him daddy.
Oh, wow.
That means something different sexually for me in another, but that's a different show. Um, and thank you so much for so Sarah said thank you so much for explaining your healing journey. So a lot of people are getting a lot of understanding from that. Jackie has commented about my life path number is a number 3. So 12, yeah.
No
so it
wonder we're
equals,
connected with the threes.
yeah. So my life path is life path or spiritual path. Is that what it is?
It's your life path.
Yeah. So mine's number 3, and isn't 3 the creative number as well by memory?
Yes, it is. You're very creative.
Yeah. Which, well, as you know, I work in the film industry.
Yeah.
So we need to collab. Anyway, that's for later.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Gayleen has said thank you for sharing your stories. And Stephanie Hughes has said I feel strongly that we should allow people to speak of their pain as much as they need to for as long as it takes, and not to encourage. We don't encourage that we re-encourage the opposite. Yeah, and grief is quite unique in a sense. What I wanted to ask, I'm just going through. I just don't want to miss anyone's there's all these comments are flooding in it all of a sudden. So people I think have just woken up and logged in.
They've realised they're on now.
They've realised, oh shit, we're alive. We better go. Speaking of grief, because that's kind of been the highlight of tonight, and not in a negative way.
I'm sorry about that, just because.
No, but I think it's important to talk about because a lot of us do grieve. All of us grieve
Yeah.
at some point in our lives, but we never talk about it. And that's why with mental health, it's so important, so it's I wouldn't normally continue talking about it, but I think tonight I'm feeling directed at this stage anyway. What I wanted to ask you though, and I've asked this in a previous show, is when someone is grieving and they come to you for a mediumship reading, do you believe or feel that time should be waited, or there is no time when it comes to getting a reading while you're grieving?
I don't think there's any time, because if you could help that person to comfort them, and if the person that's passed wants to come down, I prefer to see clients that have lost their loved ones after the funeral, after whatever blessing they do. That's when I prefer to do it. So not like a couple of days after, when they're buried, cremated, or however they're sent off. Once the final resting has been done, that's when I like to do the readings.
Yeah, definitely. And I think too, just on that as well, like a lot of people, there's no rule when it comes to grieving, as you would know.
Yeah, there's no rule.
There's no rule. But how would you say to someone, you don't want to be, we technically grieve forever, in our own way.
Oh, you do, yeah. Well, my daughter this year will be 25 years. Will be her anniversary.
What day? What month?
The 4th of October.
Right. But how do we? What advice? Because you've quite an expert at this. What advice would you give someone to? I'm trying to find the right words because, as you know, we kind of do grieve forever. But how do we sort of move on? We still grieve, but we don't forget. So how do you find that balance of getting on with your life and not feeling guilty for doing that, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Well, like I said, my mum's only passed away 4 months ago. I still miss her all the rest because I was looking after her and everything. You think about the good times. You think about they're in a better place than we are now in the next dimension. And you think that they've never left you. They're always beside you. I look at it that we have one soul. We can have many lives, but one soul that comes back. Whether they come back as another person, could be somebody in your family. You'll know that's that soulmate connection, because a soulmate doesn't have to be a love partner. It could be a brother, sister, somebody that's been there and come back into this earth, or it could be their spirit, which is their soul, beside you. And sometimes, like you said, oh, my ring moved. Somebody's there beside you, a loved one. Um, it they've never gone. They'll never be forgotten, but they've never gone. They're always going to be some way, somehow, either physically that they've come back, or spiritually that they're standing right beside you. That's how I get through it. I don't believe that because their body's not here doesn't mean that their spirit's not here.
And I suppose too, it's again, and we've talked about this as well, but it's the trust and the belief as well, trusting that
Yeah,
and believing that, because a lot of people don't. They want to, but they don't believe or trust, and it's like, well,
yeah,
it's not going to work if you don't.
yeah. It won't work if it don't, and then you always be in that. Oh, why am I laughing? You're allowed to laugh. You're allowed to have fun. Yeah, you can still enjoy life, miss that person, but still be you, because that shouldn't control you. Grief should not control you. You've got to control it. And yeah, I might, like I said, it was my daughter's 25th birthday in March. My mum died in March. I buried my mum in
I've
March.
actually got, because we are kind of getting close to the end,
Yeah,
I do kind of want to get to the important stuff as well.
yeah.
Madeline just popped up with the question that I actually really would love to get your side on this. So speaking, first of all, she's saying, I feel like you're reading her mind. Speaking of souls, I would love to get Leon's perspective of souls and genders, because I believe our body are a vessel and that our spirits are genderless.
That's what I believe too.
Do you want to elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah,
Because
I
obviously we're
don't
talking
believe
about
that.
transgender people who transition
No, no,
from
no, I'm
male
not
to
talking about
female,
transgender or anything like that.
but as
I
in like
believe,
we're
yeah,
born as a sex and
like
want to.
this lifetime, I'm a female, right? I've come dressed up as a female or whatever. It. I believe that in my next lifetime, if I haven't learned my lessons in this lifetime, I might come back as a male, and I've got lessons to learn on the male point of view. It doesn't have to be, like I said, we've got one soul, but that soul could come as male, female, um, whatever you decide you, or whatever you're born to be. Like there's no okay, I'm a female, I'm going to die a female. I might have been a male in my last life. Maybe that's why I've got a name called Leon. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. But I do believe that when we go up there, we're genderless, we're souls, and we're all going to connect.
Mm,
That's what I
thank.
believe.
I love that. I love that. And just speaking of, as we sort of start to wrap up here, just speaking of going back to sort of, your sort of childhood and learning and things like that. Um, did it ever sort of? Yeah, I probably already know the answer to this, but did it ever sort of scare you or confuse you when when you're getting all these messages and stuff? I mean, obviously you were quite
Oh, I
educated
was
and
scared. Don't you worry. I was scared.
okay. What made you scared?
Because I'm thinking, am I talking to the dark side? Um, am I going mad? Is this real? Um, is there something wrong with me? You start to question, and then when things start to happen, and then, like I said, when I was 12 years old, and I got that acceptance from my priest, Father Borg, that made me less scared, because of acceptance that no, she's not going mad. No, she's not the devil's child. She has got a gift, and a lot of people are born with the gift. And like I said, it's how you use that gift. So now I'm not scared.
Do
Now
you actually
I
do you see
embrace it.
spirits through impersonal through third eye? Like how do you see?
I don't see spirits. I feel them.
Okay.
I can feel someone if someone's beside me. I can feel like if a cold draft goes through me. Like you said, if things move, like I'll put something and I'll go, I know I've put it, and then they're playful. Or if they're angry with me for something, things will break.
Okay. And
So
do you get descriptions as such? Like if you just sort of feel them, does it sort of
no, no.
like do you hear stuff?
Yeah, I hear stuff. And not long ago, I was doing a reading for a client, and I even explained her wedding day, and I said, "Oh my God, it was hot, but it's rainy." And I saw an old man beside her, but he couldn't come to the wedding because and everything that I explained actually happened. It was a hot summer's day, and I said she was getting married in a barn, and she goes, "Oh my God, you explained my whole wedding day." And her um, future grandfather or her grandfather-in-law got sick, but he couldn't come to the wedding. And
So you're
I
pretty
said,
accurate.
but he's sitting
Speaking
beside
of
me.
weddings, because we are running out of time. Speaking of
Okay.
weddings, just quickly here. Speaking of weddings, you predicted yours or the man that you're going to marry.
Oh
Tell
my
us
God.
quickly.
Yes, I
Really,
did.
you've got a few minutes. So,
Yeah, yes, I did.
but tell us how that happened because I love this
All
story.
right. I was at a nightclub with I was at a dinner with a friend of mine, and then he said, "Do you want to go to a nightclub?" And I go, "Oh God, really? Groove Bar or Dimples?" And I said, "I haven't got a Dimples. Let's go to Dimples." And Psychic TV was there was a rerun on the night before, and these women came across me, go, "You're the psychic on TV. You're the psychic on TV. Can you give us a read?" I go, "No, not here." But I went when I was walking. I went to get my cards out, my business cards out to give to them. And while I was getting out my business card, my bag bumped this bum, uh, my partner's bottom, and he turned around and he said, and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I go, "Oh my God, I like this guy." And I said, "What's your name?" And he said, "Jason." But before I could say anything, he, the girls pushed me, and it was like Cinderella. He'd gone, disappeared. And then I told my friend, that's the guy I'm going to marry. That's the guy I'm going to marry. They go, "Do you know his name?" Okay, "Jason." "Do you know where he comes from?" "No." "Do you know where he is?" "No." "Do you know where he lives?" "No." And then for 3 weeks, I would not, three again, I would not go anywhere. I lit a candle for my daughter because I believe in candle magic. I lit a candle for my daughter and I said, "Now, Sarah, I do have everything. I do believe this is the man I'm going to marry. Can you please bring him back into my life?" Now, 11 o'clock, 11 again at night, I didn't even bother to get ready, jumped in like how I was, went to the Groove Bar. My friends wanted me to go out, went to the Groove Bar, and there's sliding doors at the Groove Bar. He was going in to the smoker section, and I was going out because I don't smoke. I was going out, and I said to my friend, "That's the guy. That's the guy I'm going to marry." And she goes, let's go and get him." And I go, "No, I believe in serendipity. If he's meant to be, he'll come to me." And then I was standing just near the bar, and I saw my friend talking to this other guy, and I'm going, "Oh my God, well, let's go." And then while I was standing there, I had this feeling, this body standing. I turned around, and that was Jason.
I love
And
it.
then from then,
I've heard. Yeah,
he has not left my side, and we're engaged.
you are engaged. Is he in the room somewhere? Can we hear him? Can he hear you?
He's in
We
the
don't need to
other.
see him, but
You want to see him?
no.
Oh,
I'm just saying, can he hear the conversation?
I don't think so. He's watching football.
Oh, of course. But I love that story. And I just love how you stuck to your intuition and gut. I'm like, no, he's going to come to me. It's going to happen because I'm sort of, in a way, you've manifested that. So it's
Yeah.
just a really great example of that for anyone who's watching to go that, you know what, even if you meet someone and it took you 3 weeks, but you did not give up hope that you knew in that
No,
time.
did not. And
And
that's why my business, I called it, what, 15 years ago. I called it because I love the word serendipity. Serendipity is my favorite movie because everything that you do you think might be by accident, but it's also fate, accidental fate.
mm, I
And what
love
I did
that.
was I swapped the letters of serendipity, which was the E and the N, to Sarah, the A and
Oh yeah,
the A and the H.
beautiful, beautiful. Um, I love it. I love it. And you've done many plugs tonight. It's going to cost us a fortune in advertising, but it's. I love it.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
you're little plug queen. I love that, but that's okay. No, it's fine. Leon, thank you so much. Well, I'm definitely there's so much where I've run out of time, but there's so much more I want to ask you that I'm
There's
definitely
so
gonna have
much
you
more I
back
want to
on.
say. I don't stop
I
talking. Everyone will tell you I'm a talker.
I know, I know. And now is not enough. I need to do a 2 hour special. Um, but yes, I'm definitely gonna have you back on to discuss more. So thank you so much for your time. I know everyone has really complimented and really enjoyed tonight, and thank you for opening up and being honest with
I
us. A
hope I
lot of,
answered them spiritually how I do things. Yeah.
I think you. I think there's more that we can definitely go into, but we kind of. I just wanted to focus on your personal journey there because I know a lot of people can relate to that, and that's just as important because it's all about being able to to relate, so
Yes.
it kind of there's no rule with this show. I mean, I kind of make up the rules as I go. The great thing
And
about
I
being a
love
host,
it.
are you by any chance going to are you able to log on to the phone lines at all?
Yep, that's not a problem. I've got to get my cards out, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just for anyone who's watched you tonight that's connected, they may want to actually get a personal reading with you tonight. So Leon is going to log into psychictv.com. You can get a psychic reading with her tonight, or you just have a chat, just pay for a chat. Why not? Leon's good at talking. Thank you again so much
I
for
am.
tonight. I'm definitely going to have you back on, and I'll be in contact with you personally anyway for our little collabs that I want to do with you.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I really enjoyed tonight. It was fun. So I hope people got things out of what I was saying. And it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, me too. We love to have you on. Thank you so much.
Bye, darling.
Bye. And thank you to those that have watched tonight. If you do want to get a reading, you can go to psychictvaustralia.com. I'm just going to do a quick refresh quickly here to make sure I've not missed anyone. So currently we have Amazing Grace on 9888, Benjamin on 9166, Norm Baker on 9810, Rosemary on 9135, Sathia on 9136, and Leon will be jumping on very soon. And her pin is, well, you'll see her when she's on. But thank you to everyone that's jumped on. I love Leon. She's got an amazing little pocket rocket. She is. So yeah, great to have her on. I'll definitely have her back on soon. I have Louise on next week. She's a brand new psychic to Psychic TV International, so I definitely know nothing about her. So it'll be exciting to learn what she has to offer. So Louise will be on next week. She's a brand new psychic to the company, so definitely jump on. And we can learn about her together. My brain has gone, you know what, it's home time now, like switch off. Thank you to those that have watched tonight. Again, I just want to alliterate. Well, maybe I just made up a word. But if any of tonight's stories has affected you in any way, you can call Lifeline on 13 11 14. There is a trained counsellor. Of course, in an emergency, always call 000. Thanks to everyone that's jumped on tonight. Madeline, Donna, Stephanie, Gay, like all of you. Jackie, you're all there. Bree, love and light to you all. Harry is on this Saturday for psychic readings. So this Saturday night at 8 p.m, same place, same time, you can get a psychic reading for free. Tidbit readings with Harry T this Saturday night. I'll be back next Thursday. Until then, trust, believe, and I will see you next week.